What's going on? Zach Crawford here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the best online business to start in 2019. Now look, there's a lot of different business opportunities and different ideas that you can actually pursue, right? But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you what I believe is going to be the biggest opportunity for you in not only 2019, but also over the next 5 to 10 years to get stupid rich online. All right, so what I'm specifically talking about here is becoming an expert in a specific niche industry you're passionate about. And what I mean here is what most people call an influencer these days, right? And we're not talking about posting half-naked selfies or posing in front of a Lambo, faking it until you make it like most of the millennials think these days. We're talking about building a real sustainable business. So let me clarify really quick about becoming an influencer, because becoming an influencer these days is really thrown around pretty easily and it doesn't really mean a whole lot of anything. What I mean by this is a lot of people think becoming an influencer just means having a lot of fans, having big social media followings. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that have massive followings of 1 million plus people, yet they make very little money. All they do is post selfies and basically get a lot of likes and a lot of hearts on Instagram, but they don't know how to monetize it. What we're talking about here specifically is the e-learning, or I should say digital products industry. You're selling digital information, right? I'm going to flash up right now so you can see I'm not full of BS. In 2015, Forbes said that it was a $105 billion industry. By 2025, it's going to be a $325 billion industry. So here's the thing. There's a lot of different online businesses that you can get involved with. And in my opinion, a lot of them are very hot trends. And what I mean by this is there's a short window of opportunity to make a bunch of money, but then a couple years later, people realize it's not sustainable. A perfect example of this is the Bitcoin industry, right? And I'm not saying Bitcoin is dead. There's still people out there making money with Bitcoin. But a couple years ago, literally, it's all you heard. I mean, people that were not even doing business, that just had basic jobs, were investing their life savings into Bitcoin, thinking it was going to make them a millionaire and they're going to be able to cash out and do no work. And now you're seeing literally a couple years later where not many people are talking about Bitcoin. Literally some 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs are sharing stories about how they had very, very successful businesses. They bought into the hype and then they literally lost 6 and 7 figures because of the fact that they got away from what works and thought the grass is greener on the other side. So here's the thing. I don't know about you, but personally, I do not like gambling. I don't like building my business on something that's not sustainable. I don't like building my business on trends. I don't like building an online business on something that's here today, but it's not going to be here 5 years from now. Personally, I like focusing on things that will grow long term. I don't like going after get rich quick. I've been there, I've done that, and what I can tell you, it's very depressing when you're on massive highs and the next minute you got to start all over again. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw on the whiteboard and explain to you how the whole process works. But before I do that, what I want to do is talk to you about your 2 different options and why this is the best online business to start in 2019. So option number 1, of course, is affiliate marketing, right? And if you've not heard of affiliate marketing, basically it's simply the process of selling other people's proven products. Now, for me personally, I like selling digital, as we talked about already. And digital can mean multitude of things. It can be digital products like ebooks. It can be courses. It can be software, which is one of my favorites because when people buy software, they usually use it for a long time, which means reoccurring income. And then, of course, there's also some services. You can even find services online for a multitude of industries. We're not just talking about the make money online industry here. In fact, there's other industries like the health industry is probably even more profitable. So the reason I suggest affiliate marketing for people to get started is because of the fact that, 1, you get to find products that are already proven to sell. They're already viral in nature. People are already out there buying them. You don't have to do any of the customer service. You don't have to actually create the marketing for the product, meaning actually, the copywriting, the words that make it sell. You don't have to do any of the customer service, which is one of the things that can be very, very frustrating, especially if you're not a people person. And so that is the reason I suggest affiliate marketing. If you've not made at least 6 figures online, this is the easiest business model to get started, in my opinion, because of the fact that all you're doing is taking a product that's digital in nature, it has ultimate scalability, and all you got to focus is learning how to sell it. People are already out there buying these products already, and all we're doing is putting something they want in front of their face and then showing them why they need it and how it's going to help them solve a problem. So once you actually learn marketing, here's the thing. Marketing and sales should be your number 1 obsession, regardless of what you're doing. I don't even care if you were doing the e-commerce industry, right? You should be wanting to learn to master marketing and sales, because once you learn sales and marketing, you're never going to go hungry. You're never going to wonder, will I be able to pay the bills? Will I be able to have that dream house? Will I be able to drive my dream car? You're going to be able to do all those things when you focus on marketing. It's the number 1 thing that you should actually care about learning, because once you know how to sell stuff, you can actually do number 2, which I'm about to lead into. All right, so number two, of course, is selling your own products. So selling your own digital products. And I'm not the best speller here. Selling your own digital products, hands down, there's no doubt about it. You're going to be able to make more money. And the reason being is because of the fact that it's digital in nature. You're collecting 100% of the profit. But here's the thing a lot of people don't consider. I've seen a lot of people come to me, especially for coaching, where like they have this amazing product that they worked on building. They spent months of their life building it. Yet they didn't focus on what I talked about mastering, which is sales and marketing. So they basically have this amazing product that like everybody could benefit from, and they actually have knowledge that could help somebody in a specific industry, but the problem is they don't know how to sell anything to save their life. So my suggestion always is to make your first 6 figures with affiliate marketing, which honestly you can scale even to 7 figures. 6 figures is just like a benchmark to get started, in my opinion. But once you have the marketing chops and you're able to sell 6 figures of somebody else's products, it's going to be very easy for you to create your own product. And the reason I say to start with affiliate marketing is because you get to test the waters, right? A lot of people go out there and they create a product that they think the market wants. And sometimes if you're very passionate about the industry you're in, this can be a bad thing because you can use your own biased opinions. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter until somebody votes with their credit card that they want what you're selling. So you could literally go out there, spend all your time, learning all the marketing, putting it all together, setting up all the tech side, building this whole product, and then it's like ghost town because of the fact that you built something nobody wants. So that's another reason right there too why I suggest everybody starts with digital products and affiliate marketing first, because you can test the waters. You can test different softwares. You can test different information products. You can test services if that's available in the niche industry you pick, and you can figure out what your audience likes. Once you have an audience, which is probably the second most important thing, like knowing marketing is very important. Having an audience is very important because without people, you can't sell anything. So once you have that audience, once you have the marketing chops and know how to sell stuff, then it actually makes logical sense to actually start selling your own product. And here's what you do then. Then what you do is you switch it around. You would do your products first, right? You would do your products first. So I'm just going to put first. And then from there, on the back end, then you would sell affiliate products. And so this is a way at the point where you could literally easily make 7 figures here. You could make 7 figures a year selling your own stuff. And then you could make another 6, or wrong spot. You could make another 6 to even multiple 6 figures, selling other people's stuff on the back end. It's like no effort. And that's pretty much the process I followed years ago as I focused on learning affiliate marketing first, getting really, really good at sales and marketing and talking and persuasion and how to actually communicate and speak to people. That way they actually see the value in what I'm selling. And then once I understood that, it was very, very easy to sell my own stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to draw out so you can see how this works and show you why this is the best online business, hands down, to start. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how easy this process is to set up and build. And I guess I should reframe this, right? It's easy enough that anybody could learn it. With that being said, a lot of people, as soon as they realize there's going to be any tech side of things, it realizes that, they're going to have to learn something that's outside of their comfort zone, they're going to stop right there. But I want you to remind yourself of this whole $325 billion industry that you'll be missing out on. This is stuff that anybody could learn if you take the time to do it. It's not that hard. Like, trust me, if I can do this stuff, you can totally do it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out for you and show you the basis of how the process works. So number one, right? Over here, right here on number one, we're going to have our audience. Our audience are going to be people. And that's what we want to refer to these people as, right? And if I spell things wrong, you just keep rolling and don't make fun of me, okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm not the best at spelling grammar. So people. That's what I want you to think of when I say audience, because people are people with real problems. They have real struggles. They have real fears. They have real ambitions and things they want to achieve. They have real self-doubts and they're insecure. And so you got to realize this going in, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're going out there on social media platforms like Instagram, or like where you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook. Basically, you're going out on social media platforms where these pocket of people hang out, right? And what you're doing is you're creating, which is step number 2, which is content. So I'm just going to write content, and this can be in the form of many different things. We could create videos, right? You could be creating videos. You could be creating images, so like Instagram, and then of course text. And it doesn't really matter. I want you to realize that there's a million different ways to do everything. Like, I'm a video guy. I like video. I think hands down it's like the best platform in order to build your audience and get your message out there. But there's plenty of people even killing it on Instagram. There's plenty of people even killing it on Pinterest. So you may not realize this, but even blogging is still very, very effective. There's people that love to write. And so what you got to do is you got to pick what platform you want to build, right? All the platform work. Don't buy into this stuff where people tell you Instagram is the only way you're going to make money. Facebook is the only way to make money. YouTube is the only way to make money. It's complete BS. At the end of the day, like, what's going to work is where you water your own grass. You pick your path and you decide, this is what I'm going to do. So you're creating content, right? Now what we're going to do is step number 3. We're going to lead them to what I call the freebie. Now, different people refer to this as different things. People call it a squeeze page. They call it an opt-in page. So basically what you're doing is you're trading something of value for somebody's email. And what we're doing is we're collecting the emails so we have the ability to follow up with them multiple times into the future. So I want you to realize that social media is a very powerful thing. You can sell on social media, right? But the problem with social media is the fact that there's so much content being produced that, like, if somebody goes to, like, for example, your YouTube channel. By the way, if you're on here and you're getting value from this video, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos. So there's my point right there, right? If somebody is watching your content and they don't subscribe and they watch, let's just say 3 minutes of the video and they leave and you don't have their information, the reality is you probably won't see them again in the future. Maybe, but they're probably going to be on to something else. Compared to if you capture their attention, right? You get their attention and you say, hey, I got this free thing. Maybe that's like an ebook. It could be a video course. So one of the things I like to do is give out free video training. So it's like lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. We'll talk about that in a minute. Some people even just do emails, right? They do like tips and stuff in their emails. But what you got to do is you got to create something that is very valuable, something that can help them. Now, right now, there's going to be people like, well, Zach, I don't know what to create. I don't know what to say. I can't create any value. I'm brand new. There's this really cool thing called Google, and all you have to do is go out there and find tips. I'm being a smartass, obviously, but it's serious. You can learn anything right now. I want you to realize right now, there's almost nothing original out there. Literally every single thing has probably been done about a bajillion times, but it doesn't matter. If they come across to you and they like you can make a lot of money doing what I'm teaching you. So if you don't know something, go out there and find people that are doing what you want to do. Go out there and Google the best tips to get a six-pack abs. Whatever your niche industry is, you can literally find tips before you're anybody. You don't have to be a master at this. If you even just get it 25% right, you're going to make some sales. So you give away something free, right? And this is where, hands down, I would spend the most time possible to do this. And here's why. I've seen people, they do this where they go out there and get what's called PLR, private label rights. And basically what it is junk. What you're doing, and in some industries, don't get me wrong, if you spend a lot of money, there are some things that you can license really good products and give away freebies. But a lot of times when you get PLR, it's junk. It's just it's really horribly put together. And what I want you to realize is that when somebody comes across to you, here's what you want, right? I'm going to draw a little person up here. You want what this is a little ray of sunshine coming out of them. And that's a giant smile. I didn't do a very good job there. But you want positive expectations, right? You want them to feel positive about you from the very first experience that they come across. This is why I tell people all the time, and I probably should have talked about this a little bit more in this stage. A lot of people when they're creating content, it's buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. They don't even create a piece of content unless it benefits them to get a sell. And the problem with this is that that's what 99% of people are doing. Most people are not focused on the user. They're not focused on the person actually viewing their content or reading their content. And so you want to create positive experiences from day one. Because if you do, now they're going to actually open your future emails. Now they're going to actually look at your future pitches of the products that you're recommending to them. So keep that in mind. So basically you offer them something for free, right? And then what we're going to do, I'm just going to swing this over here so I have more space. So once they opt in, they're going to go to this process that I call the bridge page, right? Now there's different ways of doing this, but I'm sharing with you how I do it. So I call this the bridge page. Now what this is really commonly referred to is the thank you page. But what most people do on the thank you page, and they do it because they want to hide behind their computer. They don't want to put in very much work. They want to make a bunch of money on the internet, but they want to hide. It doesn't make sense. So basically what you do here, right, is you have the bridge page. They opt in, and so at the same time, they're going on what's called an email autoresponder, right? So let me go back up here and actually add this. They're going to go on an email autoresponder. And basically what this allows us to do, let me spell this correctly here. Basically what this is going to allow us to do is send out emails automatically, exactly how it sounds like, autoresponder, right? So when somebody opts into our email database, which is what we're creating, which is a real asset, we can follow up with them in the future. But what this does is these lessons that I'm teaching you here, they're going to go out automatically. So imagine having a salesperson at your disposal or yourself. You're literally selling every single day on complete autopilot. And then from there, which I'm going to talk about the email database here in a minute, you can make more offers and make additional money. So basically on the bridge page, what I do is I introduce myself, my little smiling, smart-ass self, right? Hey, what's going on, guys? Crawford here, and this is what I'm going to tell you about, yada, yada, yada. So what you're doing here, right, is you're recommending something on the thank you page, but you're not doing it how most people do. What most people do is they literally just redirect, like after somebody gets the freebie, and then they send them to a sales page, and like it's really weird for the viewer because they don't even know who they're going to. So what I do is right here we have a little button, right? And I'm just going to put click here. It can be anything you want it to say. But basically what you're doing is you're going to send them to something that they can buy. But you're introducing them to yourself first. You're saying, hey, my name is Crawford, and I want to tell you about this amazing gadget, right? And how it's going to help you. Feel free to check it out. It's literally that simple. Now, this may sound like, well, why don't you just redirect them to the sales page? But that little bit of extra effort will literally 10x your conversions. And the reason being is because they see that they're dealing with a real person. And especially when they see that it's the same person, like you think about it, they found you on Instagram, they found you on YouTube, or they found you on Facebook. Whether you're doing free or paid, it doesn't matter. There's different ways to get people to your actual, your freebie. They see the same person. And so they have a little bit of a relationship with you already, and there's trust enough that when you're recommending that product, they're going over there and checking it out. So what happens from here, right? Now all you're going to do is ideally the same product that you tried to sell, you're going to send them a series of, we're just going to say this is email. Now there's different ways to do it. I want you to realize, like for me, I do it a little bit more advanced. I use video. But when I first started, I didn't use video because video terrified the hell out of me. So I totally get it if you're that person. So you can literally just do it like this. And all you want to do for the most part is bring people back to that same product. You just want to keep bringing them back to that same product. And all you're doing is you're bringing them back with different angles. You're sharing different tips. You're sharing different things that why they need the product and how it will help them. You're talking about how it will overcome their problems and how it will help them, get leaner and get in better shape. How it will help them make additional money so they have freedom and they can send their daughter to college or travel, they can travel the world. You're helping them realize how that diet pill is going to help them shred 7 pounds in the next, 2 days. Like whatever it is that you're selling, all you're doing is giving them tips in email 1, email 2, email 3, and bringing them back to the product. But here's what most people do, right? They get caught up on this process, and this is very, very important, right? This makes you money. So this is how, like, when you're actually going out there with your traffic sources, especially if you get into paid, things like paid Facebook ads or paid YouTube ads or paid Instagram ads or whatever platform you're using, this is going to help you to be able to buy that traffic and make money back. But that's not the real asset. Here's the real asset, right? Right here. So we've got them to go through this series automatically, right? What happens is we built what I call the email database. And right here is these pocket of people that we collected. Let's just say we have 100 people, right? And only, the reality is probably like 1 to 3% when you're starting out are going to buy. And just so you know, people that, like when you're building even a 7-figure business, right? Like most of us are happy at a 1 to 3% conversion. A lot of people think like when people go through, everybody is supposed to buy. But if you even get just a 1 to 3% conversion, you can create a 7-figure business. So I want you to realize you don't need a massive amount of people. It's only going to be a handful of people that buy. But then what happens is, here's where the power is, right? So many people, let's just say, as we said, 1 to 3% buy right here. But here's where the real power is. We have this email database. And now we have additional 100 people we can market to. We can literally send them to more additional offers. We can offer them more stuff. And what happens is when you do this properly, you have people that buy from you literally like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. I have customers that have been buying from me for 6+ years. And I'm talking some of them that have spent over $20,000 with me. We're not just talking about a few bucks here and there. So if you're constantly focused on adding value to one core audience, you're focused on becoming that expert. And I want you to realize right in the beginning, when you first start, you're going to suck. There's no way around it, right? But if you stick with this and you focus on it, you get to the point, and I probably should have drawn it up because the expert would be up, but you get my point. You're going to ascend to the point where eventually you are the expert. But what I want you to realize right now is when you're actually catering to a specific market, you literally only need to know 1% more than they do. You just need to be a few chapters ahead in the book. I tell this story all the time about Frank Abagnale from the movie Catch Me If You Can. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, he pretended to be a teacher and he wasn't, and he taught the class for a whole semester. And how he was able to do it, he was one chapter ahead in the book. So I want you to realize when you get started, people think like you need to be an expert. But nobody comes out of the womb an expert. You just don't. You become the expert by focusing on mastering and getting good at it. So I want you to realize right now, this video was shot in 2019. You have several years until 2025 is here, right? So if you stick with something over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you literally could be a multi-millionaire in the industry that you pick. And that's why this is the best online business to start, because by becoming an influencer or becoming an expert, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be able to make money without even trying. What's going to happen is as you build an audience, so we're just going to these are people, right? These are your audience. These are some really weird looking people. They're like looking broken and whatnot, but they're people, they're your audience, right? As you build this audience, they're going to trust you. And the more that you put out content, the more you focus on helping and serving them, you're going to have these people that you literally can just keep recommending things to. And you can have multiple streams of income and do it properly because of the fact that these people trust you. You can recommend different courses. You can recommend whether it be your own course or somebody else's. You can recommend services that they need. You can recommend software or something that's going to help them do something easier. And if you realize the power of this, this is hands down not only the best online business, but it's also one of the easiest. It requires work up front, but once you build it, you literally just sit back and make offers and content. That's it. And you just keep repeating the same process we talked about. You create more content up here, right? And it's a self-revolving cycle. You create content, you lead them to the freebie, you put them through the initial, what's called a sales funnel. That's what this is right here. And then it guides them on down here to our email database. And now you just keep making more offers. And that's it. And if you look at any 7 or 8 figure earner, I'm telling you right now, you're going to see that. That's how I created my 7-figure business. You're going to see people making way more money than even what I've made. And that's how they've done it. They've created an email database, or what people call to is the email list. And they have an asset that they can tap in at any given moment to make offers. What a lot of people are doing is they're getting involved in business models that are just like a quick hit, and they have to keep restarting. Yet the people that build the audience, people that build the list, can keep making money. So I want you to realize that just building a social media following and becoming an influencer in the light of, hey, a bunch of people like my post, a bunch of people are saying I'm amazing, how great I am, it means nothing. You can't cash likes, you can't eat likes. But what you can cash is cash in your bank. So what I want you to realize is when you do this, you focus on creating content strategically, you focus on building that asset, the list. From there, you literally can just make offers and have a pretty darn passive business, right? That's where when people talk about you can work a couple hours a day and make millions, you literally can. But you first got to put in the effort first. So obviously I've kind of glanced over the process, right? This is what I call the mountaintop view. It's the basics of how the process works. So if you want to learn the step-by-step process, I have a free training, which you'll be able to see this whole process and how it works in the description. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is, once again, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you go do that. Go below, hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos. And finally, if you have any questions on this whole process, you just want to say, hey, Zach, what about this niche? Or hey, Zach, what do you think about this? Feel free to comment below and I'll engage with you down in the comments. So other than that, I hope you got value from this, and I will see you in the next video.